Hi, my name is Sylvie. I help moms feel great and lose weight by healing their gut and nourishing their body with delicious whole foods and superfoods. On this channel, you will find simple recipes and practical tips that will transform your health. The best part is you won't feel overwhelmed or deprived. Today's video is Intermittent Fasting for Weight Loss 101. You will learn all the basics of intermittent fasting for weight loss. Then I am going to explain how intermittent fasting has helped me lose weight without feeling deprived. And I am going to tell you exactly how you can do the same. Intermittent fasting doesn't restrict calories. Instead, it restricts when you can eat as you cycle through periods of eating and fasting. There's many types of intermittent fasting, and that's another reason why it is so effective. You can practice it in a way to suit your needs. The most common type of intermittent fasting is the 16-8 daily fasting. You fast for 16 hours and you eat your meals within 8 hours. There's also the 24 daily fasting, which obviously means that you are fasting for 20 hours and eating all your meals within a 4-hour window. But there's more than that. There's also the 5-2 intermittent fasting method, and I actually have a whole video about this method which I will link here. What the 5-2 method means is that you are eating normally for 5 days and you're restricting your calories to about 500 calories for 2 days. And then there is the eat, stop, eat method. And this type of intermittent fasting requires you to fast for 24 hours each week. Could be 1 or 2 days. For example, you would start after dinner one day, you would start fasting, and then you would eat dinner the next evening after your 24 hours are up. Keep in mind that your morning coffee with anything in it will break your fast. So if you fast in the morning you want a warm beverage, go for black coffee or tea. Also, I want to mention, have you heard the saying, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper? There is some truth to that. A study published in Obesity found that overweight women who ate a large breakfast and a small dinner lost significantly more weight than those who ate the same meals in the opposite order. Not only that, but the women who ate most of their calories earlier in the day reported feeling less hungry. So if feeling less hungry and losing more weight seems like a good deal to you, you should consider skipping dinner instead of breakfast. So should you choose to fast every day or a few times a week? Fasting every day might not be the best option in the following situations. If you are a woman over 40, or if you have been practicing intermittent fasting but have hit a weight loss plateau. In these cases, I recommend phasing. Phasing means that you are not fasting every day and you are keeping your metabolism guessing this way. Your body tends to want to keep you at a certain weight, even if that weight is more than what you want or need. And that's why people often gain the weight back after being on any type of diet after a while. So change things up regularly, and this will reduce the chance that your body gets used to your new lifestyle. But whether you choose a daily or a weekly fasting type, you need to decide how many hours you will be fasting. If you've never been on any fast, it makes sense to start slowly. So aim for a 14-hour fast a few times a week and gradually increase to 16 hours and even 20 hours. The length of your fast will also depend on how frequently you are planning to fast. If your goal is weight loss and you fast only 3 days a week, you should fast for longer. 20 to 24 hours would be great. But if you fast 5 days a week, 16 hours is excellent. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can be as effective as calorie restriction for weight loss, even though you are not restricting calories when you are practicing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting positively impacts your metabolism in a few ways. It may attenuate your body's adaptive response to calorie restriction, which means it doesn't slow down your metabolism. Your body doesn't have enough time to adapt to fewer calories. And not only that, but it will actually boost your metabolism. Short-term fasting boosts your calorie need rather than decreasing it, and it's been proven over and over in various studies. It lowers your insulin levels. High insulin levels make it a lot harder to lose weight, and the fact that intermittent fasting decreases your fasting insulin is a huge benefit. It increases human growth hormone. Human growth hormone promotes fat burning. It leads to a higher amount of norepinephrine in your bloodstream. Norepinephrine is a stress hormone that allows your body to burn more fat. Now, my experience with intermittent fasting, I had been struggling with losing about 10 pounds for years, and after turning 40, the issue became more than just losing 10 pounds. I started gaining more weight even though I was eating less and exercising every single day. I was doing all kinds of cleanses and detoxes, and once in a while I was able to lose 3 to 5 pounds, but I felt hungry and incredibly deprived. Recently I watched a video on YouTube, which I will link below, and it explains everything. Did you know that when you try to lose weight strictly through calorie deprivation, the feeling of hunger doesn't go away? Even if you were to just restrict your calories for like 52 weeks. No wonder why the traditional approach to losing weight by eating less and exercising more is so ineffective. So you feel hungrier, yet you keep having to eat less to keep the weight off. Why? Well, because the resting metabolic rate of a 150-pound woman is lower than that of a 170-pound woman. So when you weigh less, you need less energy to maintain your metabolic functions. Yet you're still used to eating a certain amount of food, you feel deprived and hungry. Now, you might know from my 5-2 intermittent fasting video, which again I will link here, that I have been using intermittent fasting in conjunction with fasting mimicking. I feel that using fasting mimicking has some added benefits. It helps increase cell regeneration and longevity, since fasting beyond 3 days has been shown to increase autophagy, which means your body cleaning out its damaged cells. Fasting mimicking once a month has been allowing me to be less strict with intermittent fasting and still experience amazing results. As you may know, the 5-2 intermittent fasting method requires you to eat around 500 calories 2 days a week. I often end up fasting fully only 1 day a week. And after 2 months, I lost 7 pounds. It is incredible to me since I was never able to lose more than 3 to 5 pounds before, no matter how hard I tried. With intermittent fasting, I don't even feel like I am really trying hard. Most of the time, except on fasting days, I eat the whole foods I want, even when I'm not hungry sometimes. I did notice that I feel less hungry, and it makes sense since intermittent fasting regulates your hunger hormones. Now, how can you get these results and experiment with intermittent fasting for weight loss yourself? Well, I recommend you start with one of these two options. Start slow with crescendo fasting, so fast for 14 to 16 hours every second day, or eat only 500 calories 1 or 2 days a week and see how that feels. I think that these are the two most sustainable and effective ways to implement intermittent fasting for women. Women are highly sensitive to the hunger hormones, and there is a concern that intermittent fasting could impact women's hormonal health negatively. That's why any fasting method that doesn't require a daily fast may be preferable. I will soon create a video about intermittent fasting for women, and I will link it here when it's done. But for now, what you should understand is that for most women, fasting for longer, but not daily, may be preferable. So for this reason, fasting mimicking is also an excellent option for women. If you do decide to go for fasting mimicking and have never fasted before, you can always aim for a 3-day fast the first time. Take it slow, listen to your body, but do remember that the feeling of hunger goes away after an hour or two. So if you feel you want to eat, it's too hard for you, drink some herbal tea, go for a walk, let it pass. It will pass, and sooner than you think. And if you fail, try again. There is no failure. It's a learning process. I can't tell you how many times I had set out to fast for a certain amount of time and I broke my fast before I had planned. Yet I have still been seeing amazing results, and you can too. You may have been practicing intermittent fasting for a while and yet you are unable to lose weight. If that's the case for you, let's troubleshoot and see what you could experiment with to achieve the results that you want to achieve. Consider the following points as you experiment with your fasting strategy. First of all, look at the fasting type that you are practicing. There are many different ways to practice intermittent fasting. If the method you've been using isn't working, try another one. Inflammation might be another issue. Inflammation is often to blame when people can't lose weight. I know that before I started following the paleo diet, I had been, and that's like more than 10 years ago, I had been trying everything to lose weight. And when I changed my diet, the weight loss came effortlessly. Start with avoiding gluten and dairy at the very least. Also, you might be eating too many calories. Even though intermittent fasting doesn't necessarily mean calorie restriction, if you are eating too many calories, you won't be losing weight. You might be eating too few calories. That actually happens as well sometimes. So find a calorie calculator online and figure out at least what your resting metabolic rate is, and then don't go below that. Also, how much are you exercising? Are you exercising too little or too much? Don't do intense workouts for more than 2 to 3 hours a week. You can certainly exercise for 6-7 hours a week, just at a lower intensity. If you can't lose weight, stress can also be a factor. So try to relax, find activities to refuel your soul, even if it's just for a short time each day. Poor sleep is another thing you might want to consider. Poor sleep will affect your appetite and your metabolism in a similar way as stress does. If you struggle with poor sleep, contact me. I have found a natural remedy that made a world of difference for me. I hope you found this intermittent fasting for weight loss 101 video useful. If you have any questions, comment below. I would be happy to help. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to make sure you never miss out, and thanks for watching.